How did you get started in this business?
Uh, I've had a very hodgepodgey musical background. I started out playing classical piano and studying voice as a young girl. And then I fell in love with musical theater, which I studied in college and started writing stage musicals. And not long after that, I took some classes at UCLA in film scoring and discovered this whole new world. And at the same time, I was looking for a job, and the job that I happened to get through a friend of a friend was assisting composer Mark Isham, who was a fantastic person to assist because he does such a wide variety of projects and all different genres. He's a jazz trumpet player. He was an early innovator in electronic music and synths. So I really got to learn a lot from working side by side with him.
Uh, Assisting, what does that comprise of when you're assisting a composer?
Well, in the beginning, it was really just answering his phone and doing his schedule. And I don't think I even told him that I was a musician because the friend who recommended me for the job said, now they're not hiring you to sing or play or write. You're just there to help out, so don't be pushy. I think I went a little overboard and not even, when I finally said, hey, I've studied composition and orchestration and I'd love to just sit and watch you write. He was really pleasantly surprised, and he said, oh my gosh, you're pretty knowledgeable. Would you like to help out? And then he started offering me, as he got busier and busier, I got to help out orchestrating and arranging. I got to play piano on things. I got to sing on things. And it really, eventually, I started writing additional music for a project, which is when a composer sort of chooses his sounds and writes a bunch of themes, and then they need someone else to fill in the blanks and do additional arrangements. It's what's called additional music. So I did that on several movies and a couple of TV series before Once Upon a Time.
How did you get into Once Upon a Time? Was there a lot of competition to get in there, or how all did that come together? Because I'm not exactly sure how the process is of selecting a composer for a project.
Well, Mark was hired to be the lead composer, and usually how that works is they have several composers write a demo. They send them a script, or they send them some early clips of video, and they say, send us a demo of what you might do with this. And so he put together demos. He met with Adam and Eddie, the writers, and then when he was hired, I was there working in his studio at the time. And so I started doing additional music for that. And there's so much music in this show, it became clear that we needed more help. So we brought on Mike Simon, who was working with Blake Neely at the time, and Blake and Mark are friends. So Blake recommended Mike to join the team, and it's been the three of us ever since.
When you start to compose a piece, when it's for TV or for film, what is that process for start or for getting that rolling?
Well, usually, because of the speed of TV, they have the directors and editors place in what's called temp music. They have a huge collection of film and TV music that they like, and they cut music into the rough cut that's sort of something like it.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives you an idea of maybe the tempo or the kind of instrumentation, if they want something big or small or poppy or tense. And then that's sort of a starting point. And then if you basically, I look at the arc of the scene, what is happening in that scene from beginning to end, and what is the function of music going to be. Is it to set the pace? Is it to amp up the emotions? Sometimes music is revealing subtext, something that a character is thinking but is unable to say. You can hint at it in the score. That's one of the more subtle and interesting things that music can do. So I sit down and decide what is the score going to do in this scene, and then I listen to the temp and see what their ideas are, and then just get to work. Start playing around either at the piano or at the computer with different instruments, and there's a lot of trial and error of figuring out what will work.
Is it usually a very hectic process, or are you on such like a tight time limit that there's no time for it to be stressful? You just get into it and just get it going without even thinking.
It's very hectic in TV because usually we just have 1 week to score each episode. So I did say trial and error, but there's not a lot of time to try many different ideas. You sort of have to just grab an idea and go because of the time limits. Usually, for example, we start on a Tuesday. We all watch the episode, and Mark, Mike, and we jump on the phone and decide who's doing what. All right, you take the ogre scene. I'll take the Snow White and Charming reunited. And we divide things up in that way, and then we have a couple days to write. How we get cues approved is we make a QuickTime video of what we've written and send it into the producers, and they either approve it or they say, oh, let's make that monster a little scarier, or they give some basic notes.
When you do get notes back from the studio, are they pretty flexible with what they want, or do they usually have a set idea in their heads already of what everything should sound like, or do you have a lot of creative freedom?
I would say for the most part, we have a lot of creative freedom, and because the series has been around for 7 years, so we pretty much know what they want by now. Mm-hmm. But sometimes we're surprised by scenes. Almost all the hits are about, or almost all the movies are about, make the hits more intense, or when this thing jumps out, it needs to be bigger, or when his heartbreak needs to be more devastating. Almost every note is amp it up a notch. So usually that's pretty easy to do once we know that they want it.
Is there a particular is there a particular score or a particular theme that you've created with this series that is your favorite?
It's always hard to pick. I would say there are a few things that are my favorite. In season 1, there's actually a cue that I wrote that I got to sing on, so that one holds a special place in my heart. That one is in episode 112 when Rumpelstiltskin and Belle meet, and it's toward the end of the episode when they have sort of a love-hate relationship. They're just getting to know each other, and it's towards the end. He's holding her in captivity, and he finally lets her go, and he realizes that he cares about her, and it's hard for him to face, so he starts throwing things and smashing his room, and there's emotional music playing, and there's an angelic soprano wailing, and that's me. And that was a very fun one to do, and their relationship, anything involving Rumpel and Belle, has been a lot of fun because their relationship has had so many ups and downs, and it's so dramatic and soul searching.
Is there a certain amount of emotional toll that music takes on you, whether you're either writing it or performing it?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say sometimes, not so much in this show because everything moves so fast. It's not like you're able to really dwell in something. I would say more in film or in concerts. I'd say if I'm working on a film and have to work on something that's dark and devastating all week long, that might take a toll. And watching, I think the combination of being immersed in that kind of musical emotion and watching scenes that are dark or disturbing, that could take a little bit of a toll. But since TV moves so fast, there's not really the method acting factor of getting emotionally immersed in your work. There's not really the luxury of time to do that.
So you kind of get to disconnect yourself from the work, kind of.
A little bit. There's definitely during each day that I'm working on a cue, I'm immersed in it, but it's not something that will haunt my dreams. It's not that intense over a period of time. It's just for a couple hours.
Outside of Once, what else are you currently working on?
Well, I've just written a new piece for a live concert coming up. That's women film and TV composers. That's going to be really exciting. It's actually a week from tonight. It's September 4th at the Wiltern, and it's KCIW presents "The Future Is Female" is the name of the concert,
Hmm.
and it's women composers for film, TV, and games. And we're going to have the Hollywood Chamber Orchestra and a choir, and I think most of us, some people are performing existing music, but most of us have written something new just for this concert. So it should be a lot of fun.
Where can people find out more about that, and where can they purchase tickets?
They can go to, if you just go to wiltern.com, they will have, and go to the calendar page. You can click on, they'll have a big pink poster with women's faces. And you can click on it there. There's also a Facebook page and a Facebook event. If you just Google "The Future Is Female" concert, it should be pretty easy to find.
Okay. And my last and most important question, where can people find out more about you, either on the internet or anywhere else?
Oh, they can go to my horribly outdated website, which I'm doing a revision of right this moment. But I think it says embarrassing things like "coming soon" in 2014. So I'd rather they didn't go to that, but they can go to, I have an Instagram at Cindy OC Music. I have a Twitter at Cindy O'Connor. They can go to IMDb to see my most current list of credits. And I've just shot a really funny video with Mark Isham and Mike Simon about the process of composing music for Once Upon a Time as a sport, using an athletic team. And I'm not sure when we're gonna post that on all social media as soon as we can. I'm not sure when that will be, but probably not till after the Emmys, because it's sort of part of it was a thing for Emmy nominees to shoot a 30-second video about your process. So we went really funny and over the top with it. But we'll be posting that soon too, and it should be fun to see.
Do you happen to have like a SoundCloud account where people can listen to selections of your music?
I don't. Well, I do, but I haven't posted anything recent. I should go ahead and do that. Can you not post the hideous audio of all the things that I need to update? Why don't I do that in the next couple of days? I'll post some new, that's what I'll do. I'll post some new collections of things on my SoundCloud. And
okay.
Also, here on Spotify and a bunch of pretty much any streaming site, they can hear, ABC has released an album of the series finale of Once Upon a Time, so they can hear all the music from the Emmy-nominated episode on, I think it's on everything but iTunes for some reason.
Well, that's weird, considering
Spotify, Pandora, Deezer, even all the little unknown ones.
That's really odd, since ABC usually works pretty closely, or Disney in general works pretty closely with Apple.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that is.
The score for the series as a whole, are there albums for each season, or do they have like a compilation or anything like that?
I believe there's definitely a season 1 album, and I think there's a season 2 album. And the fans have been clamoring for more for years, so we've sort of gotten around officially releasing things by on Mark's website, on isham.com. He puts together streaming compilations for different characters or different themes, and a lot of those are available to stream for limited times.
Okay.
So there should be some up there right now.